Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the continuation of photosynthesis introduction. Here, this is the equation of photosynthesis. Here, carbon dioxide combines with water molecule and forms C6H12O6. This is a formula for glucose molecule. So here, carbon dioxide undergo reduction by the water and it produces glucose molecule. This glucose molecule converts to sucrose, and in the form of sucrose, the transportation of glucose occurs. Later it converts to starch in the storage organs like fruits and roots. There are so many different types of storage organs in different plants. Okay, there they can store. So here 6 molecules of oxygen. Oxygen is a byproduct of photosynthesis and also it releases water molecule. So this is the equation of photosynthesis. In the yesterday's class we have discussed about how, by using potassium hydroxide soaked cotton, we have proved that carbon dioxide is very essential for the photosynthesis. So how can we prove that sunlight is very essential? So sunlight is essential for the photosynthesis. So by selecting a potted plant, by keeping it in the dark or sometime in the sunlight, we can prove that sunlight is essential for the photosynthesis. And in similar way, chlorophyll also, if you take variegated leaf and just test to go for the testing of iodine, starch molecule by iodine. So you can find chlorophyll is essential for the photosynthesis. So this is the normal equation of photosynthesis. So if you see the historical perspectives, history of photosynthesis, John Priestley, he was a scientist. He performed a simple experiment. So that experiment is called Bell-jar experiment. So let's see how he conducted the experiment. He has taken one bell jar. This is a glass bell jar. Inside the bell jar, he kept one burning candle. And small mouse. Okay, small mouse. So he kept this setup for 1 to 2 hours. So after 1 to 2 hours, what happens? The burning candle was put off and mouse gets suffocated and died. So after a while, after few hours, so what happens? This candle was put off, and mice died. So what he has done, after some time, next time he has taken burning candle, live mice and also mint plant. This mint plant, so now this setup kept for 1 to 2 hours. So after that, after some time, actually in the previous observation, what happened? After some time, the candle was put off and mouse died, right? But here, after some time, still the candle is burning and mice is alive. So By this small experiment he concluded that the air which was spoiled by burning candle and live mouse was restored by the mint plant. Restored by mint plant. So this was the experiment done by John Priestley. So this experiment simply concludes that the air restoration takes place by the green plants. Okay. So this is the experiment of John Priestley. After John Priestley, John Ingenhousz. So Ingenhousz discovered that green parts of the plant only releases oxygen. Green parts of the plants only releases oxygen. If you see in a bright sunny days, what happens? If you see any aquatic plants like Cladopora, Spirogyra, at the green portion of those plants, small bubbles will accumulate. So that means the green parts of the plants releases oxygen in the light. The same setup was kept in a dark, but in dark there was no releasing of such bubbles. So John Ingenhousz concluded that green parts of the plants only releases oxygen in the presence of sunlight. So this is the experiment done by, this is the conclusion given by John Ingenhousz. Next scientist, Sachs. Next third scientist, Sachs discovered that first he discovered the sugars, glucose is synthesized by the plant. So by his experiment he concluded that plants synthesize or prepare glucose molecule. Later this glucose converts to starch. Okay. Simply we can say that plants synthesize starch molecule. He also discovered that green substance is located in a special bodies. Now this green substance, we know that is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast. So first he discovered that green substance is present in chloroplast. So this is the experiment done by Julius von Sachs. So he simply concluded that plants synthesize glucose or starch. So green substance nowadays it is called chlorophyll. Is present in chloroplast. So after Julius von Sachs, the next scientist was T.W. Engelmann. T.W. Engelmann first produced absorption spectrum. First T.W. Engelmann. So what happened? He has taken a light which was passed through a prism. Now this light will split into 7 spectra, that is VGR. So he has taken one light and exposed on the prism. Now this light split into 7 colors. VGR. Okay. So he exposed this VGR light, spectral light, onto the filamentous algae. Filamentous algae. Now this filamentous algae, which releases oxygen molecule. Oxygen molecule. In this suspension, he also added aerobic bacteria. So now the light which is exposed on the filamentous algae, Spirogyra or Cladophora. Now what happens? The light which is more efficient in photosynthesis releases more oxygen. We know that. So depending upon the oxygen concentration, the aerobic bacteria will be accumulated at the sites more. So here he observed that more aerobic bacteria was observed in the region of blue light and red light. Blue light and red light. So by this small experiment we concluded that blue light and red light is more efficient. Blue light and red light are more efficient in photosynthesis. So this is the absorption spectrum performed by T-Dem Engelmann. So tomorrow we will see the remaining experiments done by different scientists. Thank you.